If you're like most graphic designers or photographers, one of the most difficult tasks and one of the most requested tasks is extracting a photograph from its background. Now, I'm excited to say in Photoshop CS5, this is easier than ever. In fact, it used to be such a painful process. Now it's an absolute pleasure. Check this out. It's going to blow your mind. One thing I really like in CS5 is how easy it is now to extract an image from the background. In this case, it's not too bad because I shot this picture of Lana against a white seamless paper, so you can see we've got some nice separation here. However, this could still, even a photograph like this, could still be a little bit tricky to extract, particularly in Photoshop CS3 or CS4. Now, in CS3, two things happened. One is they added the Quick Select tool, and then they also added the Refine Edge. In CS4, the Extract tool disappeared. Now, don't worry about that, because what's happened now in CS5, the two have been combined. Let me show you what I mean. Let's grab the Quick Select tool here, and now we can just click and drag to make a selection really quickly. And notice that this actually works a little bit better than it used to. And notice how quick it is too, just to make this quick rough selection. Now I want to grab these areas too and actually get rid of this. So what you could do is drop your brush size down a little bit and work that way. Or the other thing I can do is I'm using a Wacom tablet here. Using pressure sensitivity, I've got the size set to pen pressure, which means that if I go very, very lightly here, it just makes a very thin selection. It's not so harsh. If I press hard, it goes crazy and grabs much bigger pieces. So I'm just using a light touch here, just saving some time. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove this area. I'm just going to hit the Option key. That would be Alt on Windows, Option on Mac, and I'm just going to go down there and remove that section. So Alt takes away and then just click and do that. Or you could hit the minus brush. All right, now this is where the magic really gets going. Let's hit Refine Edge, and you'll notice it's changed a little bit. It's actually very intelligent now. On the view, I can change it to different things. I could look at a mask, I could look at just the selection, or in this case, I'm going to go against black because the black is going to reveal most of the troubled spots. So this means when I place this against a lighter background, we're going to have a lot less problems. So anyway, let's see what we can do here. Notice that the hair here is a little bit harsh. Now, one of the things we want to do is just zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to grab the magnifying glass, and instead of clicking and dragging a selected area, one of the new features in CS5 is if I just tap or click with the mouse and then drag, I can zoom in or zoom out. Drag and move to the left. Actually, we can zoom out, and to the right, we zoom in. So let's go out, and we can see the hair there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our brush here, and then I'm just going to begin to paint on this edge here. Now, as I begin to paint on this edge, I'm just adding to that selection there. And then I'm just going to let it think about it for a little bit. Notice each time I do that, it doesn't just affect there, it affects the entire image. Because what it's doing is it's actually making it much more intelligent. It's refining that selection. It's just as simple as that. Now, if we have areas we want to take away from, you'll see there's a little eraser tool there, but I don't have to use the eraser. I just hit the Alt key, and that reverses that, and we can just eat away out of that little bit of white there. And it's going to try there and get that. It might not get it too well here right now. Let's have a look. Okay, it's struggling for a little bit, but no big deal. We can fix that later. All right, so one of the other things we can do, and let me show you how it really works. You know, let's just soften the hair up a little bit more there. How is this working? Click on the Show Radius. Notice these are the areas I've been painting. But we can go beyond that. Let's increase the radius amount to a smaller amount. And notice we've got this edge there. Let me just zoom out here. I'm just going to quickly zoom out. And I'm just doing it the old school way here. I'm just hitting the Alt key and just dragging. And notice here, you can see there's an edge. So this is like the extract tool. Remember when we used to define the edge ourselves? Now we're able to do it much quicker and automatically. So it saves a lot of time. Everything in here we want to keep. Everything out there we want to throw away. If you remember when we used the extract tool, the larger areas would give us a softer selection because these are the areas where Photoshop decides what should be kept and what should be thrown away. So if it's a thin area, it's going to be a sharp selection. If it's a wider area, it's going to be a softer selection. So let's turn that off. And we can see we've got a pretty good job going on around there. We could go around there a bit more if we want to just, you know, I'm going over the lines, but notice just how smart and intelligent this is. It's doing a really good job. All right, now notice the edges though are a little bit harsh. So let's just zoom in a little bit. You can see these edges, there's a little bit of edges there. It's a little sharp. Here it's a little fake too. Let me just go down here and just fix that up a little bit. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we move down to the next section here. We've got the smooth, the feather. You know, the smooth, of course, gets rid of the jaggies. Don't really need too much of that. It's not too jaggy here. We can use the feather to create a soft edge selection. Notice it just feathers the edges there. Maybe I went not quite enough. You can see there. But I don't want to do that too much because it looks fake, and I want to keep a nice crisp edge. Notice we still got those halos there a little bit. So we can take the shift edge, move it to the left a little bit, and notice that they'll start bite into the image and just clamp down. It's actually choking it right now. Let's have a look at it and see what it looks like against white. Make sure there's no black edges or fringes. Looking nice. All right, so we can go back to our black. Now there's other things we could do too. Say we're shooting against a green screen and you get some of that color spill in there. If we hit decontaminate colors, we can actually get rid of that spill there, and it also works with other kinds of contaminated edges when we get some of those colored halos around there. Now there's another couple of things we can do here. One is we can remember these settings, so next time we come back we don't have to do this all over again, because maybe we're working on a whole series. In fact, I shot 700 pictures in this particular series. Of course, she was in 6 different costumes, but I would remember those settings and then we could use that and against that lighting. Well, let's have a look at ways of outputting it. We can output it here. Notice we can do it different ways because we're working on a flattened image right now. I can just do, right now if I just click OK, it's just going to keep a selection. I can copy this to a new layer. I can do it to a new layer with a mask. I can even do a new document in a new document with a mask. So let's do it to a new layer with a layer mask and click OK. Now what this is going to do now is you'll see in a second the black will go away. Let's open up our layers here. Here's our layers panel. Notice that here's the background. And now what it's done is it's just put it there in a mask, which is the best way, because that means if I want to refine this, I can go in here, like say example this part here that I didn't like. I can just zoom in, and I'm just going to hit the space bar to move it across. Okay, I really zoomed in here, and that's great. So let's grab the brush tool here, and I'm just going to drop the size of it down a little bit. And now I can just go in here, and I can just paint on the mask. So I'm just zoomed right in. Okay, maybe I'm being a little anal, but you know what? We want good quality, especially when it comes to things like, if we're going to print this, we really care about the quality up close and the fine details. And maybe just go in here and we can actually just sit here. And notice we're having some problems here because we're painting on it. Not good. So let's undo all this. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to paint out the mask itself. So click on the mask, make sure that's selected. Now we can paint out. Let's switch that around, grab the black. And now with black selected, let's paint. And now look at that, we're just creating a nice transparency behind it. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. And just go in there. Beautiful. So now let's just zoom it back down. Here's our extracted image. Let's have a look and see what it looks like against the background. So let's just grab it and we're just going to drag it. Hold on the tab. There's another photograph there. Let's release it and we can just drop her in there. And all we'd have to do now is just, create a new layer, maybe just throw a little shadow in. I'm just getting just having a little fun here with this. And let's make the brush a little bit bigger, and then we could just go, so, just paint around here. Maybe make the brush a little bigger still. And I'm just painting in a little shadow underneath just to make it look a little bit more believable. And, probably drop the opacity of that down a little bit. But you get the general idea. So you can see now how easy it is to extract these images and just look at the quality of that result and how quick and easy that was. I think this is going to be one of the most popular new features in Photoshop CS5 for compositors. Hey, Colin Smith here from Photoshop Cafe. Thanks for watching these videos. I hope you've got a little bit of a peek into what's new in Photoshop CS5. Check out the website here at photoshopcafe.com/CS5. Check out the videos we've got. And come back for more because we're going to keep adding videos. We're going to keep adding reviews. There's a lot of written content in here. We've also got the CS5 Super Guide coming out, which is free. Just head on over, check it out. And don't forget, we've got a bunch of videos, DVDs coming out from Jack Davis, Jane Connor Ziza, Eddie Tapp, from myself and from others. So head on over for the best training available on Photoshop CS5 and all the CS5 products. Thanks for watching.